Welcome, friends. Welcome to your week ahead reading with me, Intuitive Rene. We're getting straight into the theme of the reading to see what the theme of the week ahead is. On the table in front of me, I have the Word of the Year Oracle, and this week I'm working with the Enchanted Map Oracle as well. So let's have a look and see what is the theme for the week ahead. The week ahead being the 3rd to the 9th of July 2022. So we're drawing a single card from the orange pile. Whoopsie. And a single card from the green pile. Right, just giving it a bit of a shuffle, and I am taking that card over there. Let's have a look from the green. I'm looking for a single card from the green pile to complete our phrase for the theme of the week ahead. Okay, actually happy with that shuffle. And taking, did that take one? Yes. Right, let's turn them over and see what our theme is. We have got bold. We've had bold a few times. Oh, I like it. Bold healing. Oh, I like that. So obviously when I see the word healing, the first thing that comes to me is emotional, mental, physical, spiritual. Healing in whichever way is needed in your life at the moment. Healing is also something that we can do for ourselves, but is also something that is given to us, that is done to us for us, okay? But it also requires us to, number one, acknowledge whatever it is that's not right in your life, to acknowledge whatever it is that's not perfect in order to allow that healing to take place. When we add the word bold, bold just amplifies. Bold makes bigger. Bold makes better. So immediately bold healing tells me that we are, first of all, going to identify something which isn't perfect, something that isn't as it needs to be or as it should be in our lives right now. And then we're going to either initiate, create, or receive the healing that is needed for that. Sometimes this is something that we do on our own, and sometimes this bold healing is something that is given to us. So this also tells me that we want to make sure that if anybody offers us any kind of assistance or help in the week ahead, we must say yes please and thank you, because sometimes the healing that comes to us or the healing that we receive comes from a person unknown to us, or that not familiar with us, or somebody that we don't normally work with or work through. And you know, sometimes spirits send us people as earth angels to help us, to heal us, to guide us on our journey. And sometimes we can be so caught up in independence and so caught up in our familiar that when a new person comes along offering some support and guidance, we generally tend to say no, I'm fine, when actually that is the healing that is needed. So I am going to say to each one of you, this week we are going to acknowledge any part of yourself, any part of your life, any part of your situation or circumstance that maybe doesn't feel great, that could do with some improvement, and we are going to accept any assistance and help that comes in that regard. Right, so from this oracle deck, I'm going to take that card over there. This is the Enchanted Map Oracle. Let's have a look and see how it connects with and works with bold healing. And the card that we have is the Dragon's Lair. So it's referring to our home base, okay? Because the dragon's lair is the dragon's home, the dragon's safe place, the place where the dragon feels most comfortable and secure, and also the place where the dragon goes to heal when there's been an issue. So this is telling you that we don't need to, oh gosh, the glare. You guys don't understand. It is such a problem. I hope it's not going to be too bad, a little bit of glare over there. But Dragon's Lair is basically saying when we're looking at bold healing, the healing that is needed for the week ahead, the healing that you need, the healing that you need to give, you need to receive, and etc. It's definitely connected to the home base. It's definitely connected to the place where you feel most secure, where you feel most comfortable, and where you feel most at peace. That is where this healing is needed. And all we need to do is we need to be mindful that it is something around the home base. And if you are just a little bit more mindful of your feelings, your energies, your needs, wants, and desires around the home base, you might actually be able to identify where this healing is needed, where this healing is required. And it's saying to you, go back to basics, go back to your home base, go back to the place that you consider to be home, that makes you feel safe and secure and comfortable, because that's where you will receive the healing, where you will be able to do the healing, where you will be able to effect the healing that is needed in your life. All right, friends, we're going to go on to the next portion of the reading, which is now, this week, we've changed things up a little bit. We are going to be doing the crystal energy for the week ahead. So from this pack of cards, in this pack of cards, I have got 100 different crystals. So we're going to grab just a single crystal, which we are going to work with for the week ahead to help us navigate the healing that is needed, to navigate whatever it is that we're on about, whatever it is that we're doing, and whatever it is that we're dealing with in the week ahead, right? So I'm happy with the shuffle. Let's cut the deck over there and taking one crystal card off the top. So let's have a look and see the crystal card that we have drawn for this week, Tiger's Eye. Tiger's Eye is very easy to find in South Africa, a very popular and easy crystal to work with, and a beautiful crystal. I love it because no two tiger's eyes ever look the same. And it says Tiger's Eye has a powerful energy that combines the uplifting presence of the sun along with the grounding qualities of the earth. This allows one to feel a high vibration but still remain grounded. It is known as a stone of balance, and it is said to increase self-worth and self-esteem. So the element is earth and fire. The chakras that it works on is the sacral and the solar plexus chakras, and the affirmation that you can use is I am worthy and grounded. I am worthy and grounded. Now, what I like about this particular crystal energy for the week, connecting to our theme, is that it is about grounding. It is about the energies of the sun, which is life force, which is vitality, which is all of those kind of beautiful energies, but then also connected to earth, which is the grounding qualities of earth. So that's telling us that we need to remain true, honest, and practical in whatever this is that needs healing around the home environment. Okay, so Tiger's Eye, I'm sure everybody has a piece, or most people have a piece of Tiger's Eye somewhere, because it is so easy to come across and so easy to find and work with in South Africa. Tiger's Eye really is a beautiful, beautiful crystal. It normally is a brown, and then it has these streaks of gold, or these streaks of darker streaks in them, or even some lighter streaks in them, which is the different iron elements that come into it. And if you just think about the crystal, just, imagine holding the crystal, imagine wearing the crystal. And obviously, if you do have that, to actually work with it for the week, carry it on your person wherever you can, or just from time to time, hold it in your hands and just allow its energy to totally and utterly fill you up. Visualize yourself connecting to the sun and connecting to the earth. Visualize yourself stretching like that, and your energy stretching, so that you can connect with the sun and still have yourself connected to the earth, and allow yourself to draw in these energies from the sun and the earth into your being as you repeat to yourself, I am worthy and grounded. I am worthy and grounded. And I love that I am worthy from a point of healing, because often the reason why we need healing is because our self-esteem or our self-confidence is low, because we don't feel worthy, because we don't feel like we are actually worth anything or good enough for anything. So Tiger's Eye for a week of bold healing around the place that we feel safe, where we feel comfortable, the place where we feel like it's okay to release any trauma that we may be dealing with. I think Tiger's Eye is a perfect stone to work with that for that week, to work with this week. Gosh, I will get the words right eventually. All right, so next we have a new section in our weekly readings. So I have added in a section which we are just calling Angel Messages, and I'm going to use various angelic oracle decks, and I will change them each week as I see fit and as I'm guided to, and we're going to get a message from the angels to help us all on the collective, for the week ahead. And on our first week of doing this, I am working with 2 decks. And the first one that I'm going to be working with is Kyle Gray's The Angel Guide. Beautiful, beautiful deck. And I'm pairing it or working with also the Healing with the Angels Oracle cards. A lot of you will recognize this deck. It is an incredibly old deck. It's been around forever, like since the beginning of Oracle cards. But it is such a staple in my collection. And it's one that out of all the angel cards, it certainly always seems to be my favorite. So these are the 2 decks that I'm going to work with today to get us a message from the angels for whatever it is that we all need to hear right here and right now. I hope you enjoy this new edition. like I said, I have taken the animals out, and I have moved the crystals up, and I've added in the section on angels. So do comment below and let me know how you feel about that, if it works for you, if it doesn't work for you. Please let me know, because remember, I do this for you, so your feedback is so valued to me. All right, so let's start with the Kyle Gray deck, the Angel Guide, and just going to give it a little shuffle. And I'm going to draw just a single card from this deck, and then I want to draw a single card from the Healing with the Angels deck. And isn't it interesting? I just actually realized, sorry, I'm a bit slow. I just actually realized our theme for the week is bold healing, and the deck that I've chosen, besides for this one, so this one is just the Angel Guide, and then the other deck that I've chosen is the Healing with the Angels. So interesting that I managed to choose that when the healing card came through. Okay, so this will be my last shuffle here. And let's cut the deck and draw a single card from, this is the Angel Guide Oracle. So let's see what message wants to come through from the Angel Guide Oracle for us. There we go, I have a card. And before I even turn it over, I'm going to draw from the Healing, what is it called? Healing with the Angels? Healing with the Angels. All right, so let's draw a card from the Healing with the Angels as well. And as you can see, these two cards are decks are so glossy, so there are going to be a problem in trying to put them on this table, but we will find a way of making it work. Right, I'm happy with that shuffle. Let's cut the deck over there and take a card off the top. So let's have a look and see what we have. First card we have is one that says trust the universe. You know what, when we look at bold healing, when we look at our lair, when we look at the tiger's eye, the thing that comes through the kind of common thought process here is, as I started off by saying with the bold healing, it's number one, it's about acknowledging what isn't working in your life, and then it's about going to a place, going back to your dragon's lair, going back to the place where you feel safe, where you feel confident, where you feel like you are able to do the healing work that is needed. But we've got ourselves into this position because maybe we haven't trusted the universe. We've got ourselves into this position because maybe we're feeling as if, you know, we have to do everything on our own, and there's no support, and, you know, whatever it may be. So trust the universe is coming through for you today to basically say to you, whatever it is that you're dealing with, whatever it is that you're going through, you've got to do the work, okay? But you've got to trust that the universe has got your back. Remember, I said to you that if somebody approaches you, if somebody comes and offers you assistance, if somebody comes and offers you a bit of help and offers you a bit of guidance, don't be so quick to say, no, I'm fine, I can handle it on my own. Trust the universe, and trust that the people that they're sending your way are there to help you. In saying that, friends, let's not be silly. And if somebody comes and the hair on your neck stands up and you suddenly feel like, no, this is too good to be true, don't then just randomly trust the universe, okay? Make sure, I don't want any of you getting scammed or spammed or whatever the terminology is. So trust the universe that the people, friends and family that they send your way to help you, trust the universe that they're the ones that are going to give you and help you with the bold healing that is needed. Let's have a look at our Healing with the Angels card to see what has come through for us there. Meditation. You know, on that note of meditation is something that we should all be doing on a daily basis. What that meditation is will change and adjust for each one of us accordingly. We don't all meditate in exactly the same way. For some people, meditation is sitting in the correct pose, in the correct posture for the right amount of time, doing all the right kind of stuff. For other people, it's going for a run. For some, it may be going for a cycle. For some, it may be reading a book, okay? Meditation is different for every single one of us. And there is a lot of there's a lot of thought around, you know, what actually is meditation. So meditation is something that we do. It's an activity. It's an actual activity that we do that distracts the physical body so that the mind is free to explore, to heal, to understand, to process, okay? How you get yourself into that state, or how you allow yourself, or what works for you, is different for every one of us. For those of you who are runners, and especially those of you who do road running, It is the best form of meditation ever. I'm sure you solve the whole world's problems during a 5K run or whatever it may be. For those of you who cycle, for those of you who sit in actual meditation, it's different for everyone. And sometimes we've got to recognize and understand for yourself on a day-to-day basis, what is your meditation? Sometimes it can be listening to music. Sometimes it can be playing a Wordle on your phone. Sometimes just a simple activity that you do on a regular basis that allows you to disconnect from reality, that allows you to disconnect from your fears, your worries, your stresses, and your anxieties. Sometimes that is your meditation. But a meditation is something that we do on a regular basis, that where we're sort of giving ourselves permission to disconnect. Okay? So for some people, it's cooking. For some people, it's cleaning. For some people, it's making the bed. So recognize and understand what your meditation is. When you've identified what your meditation is, you almost subconsciously then give yourself more permission to go with it. I personally find it incredibly, incredibly hard to sit and have a still mind, to have no thoughts, to have no activity, and to connect with spirit. I find it so hard because I hear voices, I'm clairaudient. There's always something going on in my head, and I cannot just switch off and disconnect from that. I find it very, very hard. I'm also too much of a control freak. So to do that, to just surrender, to just trust the universe is incredibly, incredibly difficult. But I have many different forms of meditation that do work for me, that do give me that sense of trusting the universe, that sense of going with the flow, and the sense of knowing that everything will be as it needs to be. And that I make sure that I do on a daily basis. So friends, for every single one of you, we have a theme of bold healing. We have a theme of Dragon's Lair. Dragon's Lair now I want to interpret and say, Dragon's Lair is the place that you go, whether it be subconsciously in your mind, consciously in your mind, actively in your mind, or a physical place where you go to perform your meditation and trust the universe. So Dragon's Lair could be, it could be a corner of your garden where you go and sit on a regular basis to watch the birds, to watch the ants, to just eat your lunch, whatever it may be. But if it's a place where you suddenly feel safe, where you suddenly feel comfortable, where you know that healing can take place, and that healing's going to take place in the mind, in the head. And here with the trust the universe, this swirl that I'm seeing, it's like it's all coming to the mind. It's all coming to the head. So, and this is why we have the tiger's eye crystal as well, because it's telling you, let's connect with the spirit, let's connect with the sun, and let's also make sure that we're always connected to earth, so that we have the above energy and the below energy, which is bringing us into balance. And don't we see that in this card as well? Here comes the above energy, here comes the below energy, and they meet in the heart space. They meet in that space, which is where the bold healing can take place, which is where we feel safe and secure, where we can meditate to actually perform, receive, and do the healing that is needed. So the angel message for us for this week is to take time out for you. Find a thing that works for you, and it's something that you need to be able to do on a daily basis, on a regular basis. It doesn't have to be a rigid form of meditation that we're all used to and that we all expect, but it needs to be something that you do, even if it is only for 5 minutes every single day, that just allows you to connect with a higher power, to keep you grounded and connected to earth, where you know that you are trusting in the process, trusting in spirit, trusting in everything, where you feel safe and secure, so that the healing can take place as it needs to. All right, I am going to move these, I think, down here because there is no glare over there, and I'm hoping it'll be okay there. All right, we are now going to move on to our elemental readings for the week ahead. I am using the Field Tarot this week, and I chose the Field Tarot because it is one of my you know what I'm going to say, I'm going to say it's one of my favorites. I know that all my decks are my favorites, but what I like about this deck is it actually has quite a masculine energy about it without being overly masculine, which tells me, well, which means for me that it speaks without worrying too much about hurting your feelings. It speaks a truth but it speaks a truth that is necessary, a necessary truth, if that makes any sense. It is gentle, it is kind, it is considerate, but it's also honest and truthful more than anything. So that was the reason why I chose the Field Tarot this week, because I just felt like when I did the elemental energy readings that I needed the readings to be honest, straightforward, upfront, and still with a little element of kindness. So if this is the first time that you're doing elemental readings with me, let me explain to you how it works. I do 4 readings. I do one for the 4 elements of fire, earth, air, and water. And all the zodiac signs are broken up or do have elements associated with them. So basically, when I do the fire reading, I'm doing it for all the fire zodiac signs, being Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And then I do for the earth element, which covers the Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn signs. And then we do the air signs, which is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And then we do the water signs, which is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So when you know what your element is based on your sign of the zodiac, you can go straight to that portion of the video to get your message. And again, we're doing just a 7-day period. Okay, so we're looking at Sunday through to the following Saturday. Yes, Sunday through to the following Saturday. It's a short period, it's 7 days, which is why it's, if I can say the words, it's okay to group them by element, because, you know, we're not looking at an extended period of time where you do need extra information. All right. I am happy with that. Shuffling is done. I've explained how it works. So we're going to start off with the fire signs. So the fire signs being Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, and then we will move on to the others. So let's have a look. Fire signs, let's have a look and see what's in store for you for the week ahead. What is something that you need to know, something that you need to be aware of, something that you need to be mindful of for the week ahead? Fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Okay. Card number 1, we have got the King of Discs. Card number 2, we have got the Queen of Swords. Isn't she gorgeous? Love her. And we have Justice. All right. So let's put the cards over there. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to say fire signs that we have 3 very powerful cards. Okay. Each one, I wouldn't want to mess with any of these people. Let me just actually put it to you that way. I wouldn't want to mess with any one of them. I certainly wouldn't want to call them out. I certainly wouldn't want to face them in a dark alley, because any of these 3 are going to put me in my space instantly. Okay. When I look at the King of Discs, I mean, he is sitting super confidently. He is super relaxed. He has got the whole universe in his lap. That's what he contains. He's got his hand resting so comfortably on the edge of his chair, and he is just super in control. All right. He's got nothing to hide. He's not hiding any part of himself. He is completely what you see is what you get. He's very down to earth. Look at his key phrase. His key phrase here is power. So he really is a powerful being, not only in what it is that he can do, but just in his belief in himself. He knows who he is. He knows what he's capable of. He knows what he's good at doing, and he knows what he needs to do. He doesn't need anybody to validate his existence. He doesn't need anybody to tell him, oh, do it this way or do it that way or anything like that. He knows himself. He knows his kingdom. He knows his leadership skills, all of that. And he has, because of that confidence that he has, that's what makes him so powerful. Nobody will ever question anything that he says. Then we get this gorgeous Queen of Swords. I mean, I just love her. First of all, it's her hair that I love. It's the huge big tattoos that I love. She really is just gorgeous. Now, as much as she's not really looking us straight in the face, okay, as much as she is sort of glancing out, you can just see by her demeanor, you can just see that she means business. She knows that she's good looking. She knows that she's, she's got that air of that element of confidence about her. And nobody's, like, if she says something, nobody's going to question what she has to say, because, again, she exudes confidence. She exudes charisma. She knows her worth. She knows who and what she is. And she also has a plan. You know, she's not the kind of person who goes, oh, I don't know what we should do. Like, she is just super confident. All right. So we've got these 2, and it's quite interesting that they seem to be looking at each other. So we've got the King of Discs and we've got the Queen of Swords. We've got power, we've got independence. Now, I am going to say to you, fire signs, the energy of fire, the element of fire is power and independence. So this is just like exuding what your element is all about this week. So this is telling you that this week you have to be super confident. These cards are bugging me here. Sorry, just FYI. For this week ahead, fire signs, you need to exude confidence in everything that you do. Even if you're not feeling confident, just know that on the outside, where it, I wouldn't say where it matters, but on the outside, you are exuding confidence and everybody's looking at you and not questioning your ability, because you're standing, you're sitting, you're showing yourself as really, really powerful and really independent and confident in all that you're doing. You may be shaking in your boots underneath that, but nobody's seeing it. Nobody is seeing it. And then the third card that we have for you, fire signs, is the card of justice. Now, here we have this lady. She has climbed up to almost to the top of a stairs. She's standing at the top. She's also choosing not to look at us. Okay, she's got her head down turned, and she has got a sword, and it is a massive sword that she is holding right in front of her. Now, basically, she's making a decision. She is the one who ultimately decides right and wrong. She is the one who ultimately decides live or die. Okay, now the fact that she's got her head turned down, the fact that her eyes are closed, the fact that she's looking straight at the sword is what is going to make the final decision. So she's either going to drop the sword, swing the sword, lean it one way or another. But when you see that sword move, you know that her decision is final, and you know that there is no go backs. And what she says is absolute truth, from a place of integrity, from a place of honesty, from a place of reality. So again, fire signs, what we've got here is Spirit saying to you for this week ahead, everything that you do, do it with confidence. Everything that you do, you must exude integrity, confidence, honesty, etc. Don't try and pull the wool over anybody's eyes, because the truth will come out on you. But it's also about just understanding the power that you possess within you, and definitely use it this week to achieve the things that you want to. When it comes to decision making, you need to make sure that you are quite swift in your actions, quite swift in your decision making, because you don't actually have the time to dilly-daddle around it. But confidence is what's going to get you through this week. All right, fire signs, love and blessings to you. I do hope that you have an amazing week. I think they're going to live up there. All right. We are now going to do our earth energies. So earth energies, welcome to you, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Let's have a look and see what the week ahead has in store for all our earth elementals. So earth elementals of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn for the week ahead, Sunday through to Saturday. Let's have a look and see what we have in store for you. Just giving the cards a little shuffle. And let's cut the deck over there. Card number 1 for earth energies, we have got the 7 of Cups. Card number 2 that we have for you is the Prince of Cups. And card number 3 we have is the Queen of Wands. How absolutely fabulous is that? All right. So the first thing I notice with the 3 cards is that we have the 2 cups. Okay. So 2 of them belong to the same suit. And then we have Wands, which is an action-oriented suit. We've got a suit of emotion and we've got a suit of action. So earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is Spirit saying to you that this is a week of choices and decisions. This is a week where you have to sort of look at everything that's going on around you and say, right, what am I keeping? What am I getting rid of? What am I adding? What am I not adding? It's about recognizing the options that you have around everything that you're dealing with. Now, I also want to say to you around this is that, whether I don't know whether these choices and options have come about because you've looked for them, you've chosen them, you've gone seeking them, you've gone finding them, or if they've just sort of, if that's just the way that life has happened and now you're suddenly facing all these choices and options. But there certainly seems to be a lot of choice and options. I'm going to take a guess that it could be work related, and the reason I say that is because of the 3 cards combined. But the choices card here for you with 7 of Cups, it's really just, and if we look at the card, we've got light and we've got dark. So it's like day and night. You can't have one without the other. You cannot have the good without the bad. You cannot have the happy without the sad. Everything in life is duality. Everything in life is balance. And that's what this choice is going to bring you. This choice is going to bring you balance. It's going to bring you duality. It's going to bring you, so that we don't have this kind of yo-yo effect of up and down. It's going to give you an even balance of what it is that you need in your life. I am going to tell you, though, with the Prince of Cups coming through here as well, its key phrase is introspection. And it's telling you, so don't be so quick to make the decisions. Remember what your theme of the week is. So it is a whole week of choice and decision. A lot of choices, a lot of actions, a lot of decisions that need to be made. Take your time and ponder it. But I'm also going to say to you, don't take too much time. So introspection is also saying to you, don't rely on external sources to help you make the right choices. We all tend to do that. We all tend to have an element of insecurity in our lives. So when we're faced with choices, decisions, and things like that, instead of just going with what we feel, with our gut instincts, we don't do that. We generally will talk to our partners, or we'll talk to our bosses or our work colleagues or our family or friends. We generally return to people and say, this is my dilemma, this is what I'm sitting with, what should I do? And then you take everybody's opinions, and whoever's opinion seems to be the loudest is the one we generally go for. But here we have the card of introspection. So basically, Earth Signs, introspection is saying to you, find the answers within, okay? Don't go seeking it externally. Look at what matters to you, what feels right for you, what seems to talk to your heart and soul, and let that be the guide. Let that be the guiding light that you need. Now, to me, the most fabulous card for you is this particular one with the Queen of Wands. First of all, she's gorgeous, she's amazing, but doesn't she just seem to exude, again, confidence? Doesn't she just seem to exude, I know what I'm doing, leave me to do it, okay? So her key phrase is vibrancy. So basically what she's saying to you is, you need to find the answers to life within yourself. Don't look for them externally. But once you've made your choice, once you've made your options, once you've picked whatever it is that you've picked, stand tall, stand confident, believe in yourself, and don't back down for anybody. But it is like, if you want to ask other people for their opinions and stuff, that's great, but don't let that sway you. So if you've chosen, and just to keep it simple with light and dark, so if you've chosen dark as your choice, and then you go and you ask other people and they go, oh no, light, ask yourself, are they saying that because it's the choice that they would make, or are they saying that because they think it's the best one for you? And I'm sure you're going to see that 9 out of 10 times the answers that other people give you are the answers that is right for them, what they would choose based on their life and their scenario. Their life is not the same as yours. So our Queen of Wands is basically saying to us, once you've gone within and you've made your choice, or you found your choices, you know what you're going to do, stick with that. Don't let anybody talk you down. Don't let anybody take that away from you. Stand with your choice. Stay with your choice. And don't let anybody pull you down from that. All right. Earth Signs, interesting week for you. Sending you lots of love and blessings. Okie dokie. Let's put your cards aside. That looks terribly skew. And we're going to do our air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Welcome. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We're looking at the element of air, the air signs for the week ahead, for the 7 days, Sunday through to Saturday, for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Okay, I'm happy with that shuffle. Let's cut the deck over there. Card number 1 for air signs, we have got the 3 of Wands. Card number 2 that we have is the King of Wands. And card number 3 that we have is the 5 of Swords. So very interesting cards indeed for our air signs. We have got 2 Wands cards and 1 Swords card. So that's telling you it's about the doing and the thoughts around it, okay? So that's just the way that I'm interpreting them today. The 3 of Wands is quite an interesting card, because the 3 of Wands is the card that says you know exactly what you're doing. You know exactly how you're doing it, who you're doing it with, when you're doing it. Like everything, the decisions are made, everything's there. You're just waiting for everything to fall into place before you jump into action, okay? So the key word for the 3 Three of Wands in this particular deck is vision, because you know your vision. You know what it is that you're working towards. You know who you are. You know what projects you're busy with, or what ambitions you have, or whatever it is. You know exactly. You don't need anyone to tell you anything. You know exactly who, what, when, how, and what. All right? We've got the King of Wands here, which is again just a confirmation that you know exactly who you are. Like, I know I've said that so many times already, but it's because it's the truth. All right. So air signs, you know, it is just a matter of following through with the plans, following through with the actions. You're not at that stage of strategy. You're not at that stage of planning. You're not at that stage of trying to figure things out for yourself. Everything's there. Everything's sorted. Everything's in its place. You know what the plan is. You just need to execute. So our King of Wands, his key phrase is leadership. So this is saying to you that you need to stick with your guns. Stick with whatever you've chosen for yourself. Stick with whatever it is that you planned. Whatever the plan is, stick with it against all odds. Don't let anybody say, well, let's sort of, you know, go via here, or let's take the scenic route. Nope, we are sticking with the plan. We are executing it as originally stipulated or as originally said. But I also think, air signs, you know, this is sort of spirit saying to you that you need to step up to the plate. Whenever I see the King of Wands is the person that everybody looks up to. It's the person everybody looks to for answers, for confirmation, for understanding, for healing. Okay, the King of Wands is the person that sort of tells everybody, all right, if we do A, B, and C, everything's going to be okay. Now, the interesting card here is this one on the end here, the Five of Swords, and its key word is defeat. But I don't believe it's your defeat. I think it's defeat of another. Now, what I want to say around that, air signs, is sometimes when you're a nice person, and I honestly do think, air signs, that each of you, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, you are generally nice people. You're kind, you're caring, you're considerate. You're always thinking about the other person. You're always considering everybody else in your life. You're not typically the kind of person that goes, oh, I don't care about them, or I don't worry about them, I don't care what they say. You do care, okay? And I think what's happening for you this week is that you may have to stick to a plan. You may have to lead a plan through. You may have to defeat others. You may have to put other people in their place. You may have to step on some toes this week. And that goes against your grain. That goes against who you are and what you stand for, what you believe in. That's not your common thread, okay? So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, it looks like this is a week for you to step up to the plate, for you to be the strong leader that you are, that you need to be, but also the person who follows through with the plans, who follows through the rules and doesn't change the plans to suit other people, even if it means putting people in their place, even if it means telling somebody, guess what, we're not listening to you anymore. We're not doing it your way, we're doing it my way. Okay, so this is definitely a week where you need to be strong, where you need to be confident, where you need to step up to the plate. Don't be afraid about hurting somebody's feelings, because sometimes what happens, now I'm going to bring in our bold healing here. When I was describing that right earlier on in the reading, I kept saying that healing it's not only about the receiving, but it's about the giving healing as well. This defeat card, a Five of Swords, is about doing something that generally goes against your grain, doing something that makes you feel as if you're horrible, nasty, or whatever it may be, but it's something that is absolutely necessary, because maybe the person who you have to defeat, the person who you have to put in their place, maybe there's somebody who's pushed you around for too long, or pushed other people around for too long, and maybe you are the designated chosen one to put them in their place, to help them with the healing that they need, and by doing so you will receive the healing that you need as well. But it is about you stepping up to the plate, sticking with the plan, following it through, and not worrying about stepping on toes, not worrying about hurting a person's opinion or hurting a person's feelings, because they need to be put in their place and you are chosen to do that. So an interesting week for you, air signs. Be bold, be strong, be confident, stick with the plan, don't deviate from the plan, even if it upsets others, because they need to be put in their place and you are the one to do that this week. Lots of love and blessings, air signs. Lots of love and blessings. Let's put your cards off to the side over there. And we're going to do water signs. So water signs, welcome to you. Welcome to Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces for the week ahead. We're looking at the next 7 days, Sunday through to Saturday. We're doing the element of water. We're doing Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces for the week ahead. Right, I'm happy with that shuffle. Let's cut the deck over there. Card number 1, water signs, we have got the Wheel of Fortune. Card number 2, we have got the 7 of Swords. And card number 3 is the 4 of Swords. Very, very interesting indeed. All right, putting the tarot out the way because we're done with it now. So when I look at the Wheel of Fortune, first of all, there's a couple of things that we need to note on this particular card. We have almost a reverse mirror image, okay, between the top and the bottom. We have got white cat, black cat, so they're sort of always on opposite ends of this wheel, and this wheel is a rainbow wheel. But when we look at the background, it's almost like a complete yin and yang opposite. We have got dark, we have got light, we have got mirror image of, you know, whatever is displayed and the wheel that is turning. Now, the Wheel of Fortune is an interesting card because it is often referred to as the karma card, which means that, you know, good deeds attract good karma, bad deeds attract bad karma. But it also talks about the karma of life as that the lessons that you have to experience in this earth plane, the experiences that you have to go through. So it also tells you that this week it will just, you know, you just have to go with the flow. Don't try and go against the grain. Don't try and change anything. Don't try and control things too much. Just allow things to flow in whichever way they need to. In saying that, water signs, so Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, in saying that, we have got 2 swords cards, okay? 2 cards that are from the suit of swords. Swords is the suit of the mind. It's the suit of the intellect. It's the suit of the your wit and your understanding. But it's also about how quick you are to respond and react. The first card we have here is the 7 of Swords. Now there we have our little crafty fox, and he's sitting in the middle of the road. It's almost like he's blocking the road, okay? He's got one sword that is behind his front paws. Let's see if the camera will focus on it. Can you see that? He's got it between his back paws and his front paws, and he's sort of keeping it on guard. And then in front of him here are 6 other swords as a fence almost. But look at the key phrase. The key phrase here is deception. So has he put these up to create some kind of a deception? Is he the deception? Is that sword the deception? You know, what is actually being deceived here? Who is being deceived here? I can tell you now that the fox is the deceptor. That the fox is the one who is performing the deception because he is crafty. He is only after his own stuff, his own ideas, his own needs, wants, and desires. He doesn't really care about anybody else. He is doing whatever he needs to do to secure his own success, his own luck. You have to ask yourself, water signs, are you this side of the fence or are you that side of the fence? Are you prepared to do and to say whatever you need to in order to have a successful outcome? Remember, when we've got the Wheel of Fortune, the karma card, which is also life lessons card, okay? So maybe what this is telling you, I haven't looked at that card yet, we'll get to that one in a minute, but maybe what this is telling you is that you sometimes need to be the fox and sometimes you need to be this side of the fox. But it's about reading the room. It's about reading the situation. It's about looking at what's going on around you, and sometimes about offering additional information and sometimes withholding information. Withholding information is not a lie. It's not, but it is a little bit of a deception, and sometimes you have to understand that it's not always bad. Okay. I do think that this is the universe saying to you, water signs, that for this week, things are going to unfold in the way that they're going to unfold. We don't have much control over it. That wheel is just going to turn. And as that wheel turns, so situations happen. But you have choice as to what you share and what you don't share, what you give and what you don't give, how you participate and how you don't participate. You may need to be a little bit devious. You may need to be a little bit sneaky. You may need to be more concerned with your own outcomes than somebody else's. And then our fourth card that we have, fourth card, look at me, I can't count. Our third card that we have is the 4 of Swords. And we have that same kind of circle image of the Wheel of Fortune sort of happening here, but then we've got the 4 quadrants. The number 4 is the card of stability. It's the number of stability. It's the number of strength, because if you've got 4 corners, you have a very, very strong base to lean on. But we have these 4 swords that are sort of coming to that point. The circles, that is the center, that is the weak spot. But what they're doing is nothing. Look at the key phrase. The key phrase is rest. So what this is basically saying to you, water signs, is this week, don't feel like you need to do more than, okay? You can, absolutely. We know you have ability. We know you have skill. We know you have talent. We know that you have the capability to do so much more than you are doing. But sometimes holding back, sometimes being a little bit deceptive is exactly what you need. The rest card is telling you inactivity, less activity, no activity, okay? So I'm saying with that card, with the rest card, the card of not now, okay, not yet. Maybe let's call it a not yet card. We know that you are capable of doing so much more, but maybe holding something back in reserve of yourself, holding it back in reserve, allowing that portion of yourself to remain hidden will actually serve you better in the long run. Understand that you only have to give what you have to give. You only have to do what you have to do. So if you've committed to doing a thing, only do that one thing. Don't do that one thing plus 6 others because you're capable, because you can, and because you've got nothing else on the go. Keep it very much simplistic and only do that which you need to do and no more. Even if it means that you are hiding a talent, a skill, or an ability. Don't be so quick to rush into anything this week, okay? We need to hold back a little bit. We need to rest our skills, our talents, because if you reveal everything, the deception will be done to you. So if you hold back a little bit, rest a little bit, keep it to yourself, you will be on the positive end of the karma wheel and not on the negative end of the karma wheel. All right, so water signs, love and blessings to you. Less is more for you this week. Less is more. All right. So let's tidy up because, gosh, that looks like a huge mess over there. Next on our agenda, friends, is the Q&A with Spirit. So here I have my question cards. While I'm shuffling these cards, just to explain to you how it works. So there are a whole lot of varied and interesting questions on these cards. While I'm shuffling, I'm sort of saying to Spirit, what is something that we maybe all need to be thinking, need to be questioning, need to be asking, or what is something that, Spirit just feels would be an interesting topic to discuss today. And once we've got our question, I have another tarot deck that I will use to get some answers on it. So let's have a look. What question would be interesting that Spirit feels would be interesting for us all to discuss today? And there we have a question. Finding space to put all the stuff down. Let's have a look and see what our question is. What am I being called to let go of? What are we being called to let go of? I love that under our theme of bold healing. I really do. Actually, I wonder, these cards are really bugging me down there. Let's see if I can move them there. Then at least I've got some space, right? And that card can go over there. I've actually got 2 decks of tarot in front of me that I could use for this question. And I don't actually know why I took them both out. So what are we being called to let go of? I am going to use Buddha Tarot. Right, so little Buddha Tarot. The question that Spirit have for us today, what are we being called to let go of right here and right now? So obviously, friends, this is for everybody. This is not just for a particular elemental sign or zodiac sign. This is for everybody right now. Earth Collective, for every single person on the face of this earth right now, what are we all being called to let go of? So we're not talking about you personally. We're talking about a species. We're talking about human race. We're talking about mankind. Okay, so we're looking about the big kind of picture. What are we being called to let go of right here and right now in our lives? Whoops. What are we being called to let go of? Right, I'm happy with that shuffle. Let's cut the deck there. What are we being called to let go of? We have the Knight of Pentacles, we have the Page of Swords, and the Knight of Cups. Oh my gosh. So we have got 3 court cards. So immediately the way that I interpret that, the way that I read that is court cards are about, what's the word I'm looking for? Action, activity, doing, okay? It's about identifying human skills, human talents, and human abilities. Knight of Pentacles. Pentacles is a suit of our stuff. It's a suit of our money. And it's interesting that we've got Pentacles, Swords, and Cups. So there's no duplicates. The only duplicates we have is the Knight energy. Knight energy is movement. It's action. It's forward progress, okay? You can see that they are walking, all right? His little panda bear is his trusty friend. He knows what he's doing. He's got a purpose. He's got a direction. He knows exactly what he's doing. But he's holding on to his stuff. All right. So what are we being called to let go of? The first card is telling you that it's about letting go of status, letting go of power, letting go of stuff that is no longer relevant and no longer appropriate. Connected to that, we have the Page of Swords, and he's our little nerd. I mean, isn't he just the cutest? He's got his magnifying glass over his glasses. He's got his little pocket full of pens. You know, he's got his beautiful socks pulled up right up to his knees. He is just the cutest little nerd you have ever seen. A little Buddha nerd. But he's inquisitive, okay? He's exploring. He wants to know the why. He wants to know the who. He wants to know the how. So our Page of Swords, he's very curious, and he doesn't stop until he gets the answers. But we have to stop what we're doing in order to explore, in order to understand what it is that we need to let go of. And then we have our Knight of Cups. And our Knight of Cups, he's the charismatic one. He has a rose in his mouth, and he's got I want to say a cup of wine, a glass of wine. You know, he's got a feather in his cap, and he's heading off to woo somebody. He's heading off to show his love and admiration for somebody. We have got that beautiful purple color there on our horse, and we've also got these beautiful purple mountains. So the green blends into the green, brings in the purple, blends in with the purple. So, and when we go from green to purple, we're like really going opposite end of the spectrum here. All of these cards, I know our Page of Swords, he's like sort of standing still. He's not really moving, but both of these guys are moving in this direction. When I look at these 3 cards together, what are we being called to let go of? It's saying that we have to let go of this whole status around money and love. We need to start exploring other aspects of ourselves, other aspects or other components of ourselves, of our human beings. And we've got to realize that, you know, your relationship status and your financial status or your career status or, you know, your status, let's just actually do that. Your status in life doesn't determine who you are. The status and the stuff that you have and the stuff that you show and the stuff that you are seen with does not determine who you are. We need to start getting curious around why, who, how, when, etc. We need to start asking all those questions to re-establish who we are, because 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 100 years ago, life was all about, are you happily married and settled with white picket fence, perfect family, perfect quantity of children? Like, you know, there was this expectation of what it meant to be happy. And happy meant man and woman married with 2 kids. I'm making it up, I don't know. Man and woman married with a certain number of kids, 1 dog, 2 cats, you know, a 6-bedroom house, blah, blah, blah. That meant if you had that, you meant you were happy. If you had a perfect job with a perfect salary, with a perfect income, plus that perfect family, you were happy. And today, that's not what happiness is. I don't know about you, but that's not my reality. My reality doesn't look like that at all, and I'm sure neither does yours. So we need to start asking ourselves, what is true happiness? So what are we being called to let go of? The stuff that no longer matters, the stuff that is no longer relevant, the stuff that is no longer appropriate. We need to change our whole reality, our whole point of view. And that's why we have this Page of Swords in the middle here, because he's saying, let's go on it, let's be curious. Let's be curious and let's start exploring, let's start looking, let's start understanding how different life needs to be. Let's let go of these things and let's focus on finding new and exciting ways of being that fulfill our souls, fulfill our hearts, and give us a sense of happiness and joy. What are we being called to let go of? Status. I'm going to leave it just like that. Status. And there's your bold healing right there. So friends, I hope you've enjoyed this week's reading. Thank you for being with me. I'm going to shift over to the bonus reading now. So for those of you who are on those levels, on the motivated and activated levels of the memberships, do stick around for your bonus reading. And for everybody else, with love and blessings, from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care.